Ayan tours Bitcher around their small village. She said, "If you don't have a place to sleep, you can sleep on your friend's hammock. If you are hungry, you can ask for food from someone who has it. That is why the Baroque tribe is such a homely place." Bitcher replied, "It seems like the Baroque tribe have no regard for private assets." Ayan told Bitcher, "We're here. This is the matriarch's house." When they enter the house, Ayan greeted his mother with joy, hearing that Bitcher was trying to question if the matriarch is Ayan's mother. The matriarch told Ayan, "It seems like you have brought the empire boy you talked about every day." Then Ayan replied while blushing, "Mother, when did I do that?" Looking at the matriarch, Bitcher knows that this Baroque tribe leader is what they called the Night Fox, the female Baroque tribe warrior who scarred Hugo's nose bridge. The reason why in his past life he cannot cross the Le Rouge at Le Noir Mountains landscape is because of her. Bitcher wonders what will happen if the past version of himself went up against the Night Fox in a battle. The result of head-on combat will only be 0%. In terms of assassination, the Night Fox will only blow his head using her arrow, which means an assassination attempt would also result in 0%. If Bitcher ran away from Night Fox, his survivability would only increase to 20%. The matriarch told Bitcher, "Think I have seen your face before." Bitcher started to question his mind. Can she say that I'm of the same bloodline as Hugo by instinct? But the matriarch did not mind it because for her almost all imperial men looked the same. The matriarch asks, "What are you planning to do with him? He is no different than a cripple." Ayan replied, "He will be useful once he receives treatment. After all, he was the one who attacked the Madame Eight Legs." Her mother told her that taking action without knowing her place might come back to bite her, but it doesn't matter if Bitcher's body is destroyed or not as long as he has a good seed. Ayan denied everything about what her mother is saying. She just says that she wants Bitcher to be her slave. Her mother replied, "That is different from what you were saying to me every day." She taps Ayan's head, but Bitcher doesn't care about their conversation since he is more focused on the wall of the matriarch's house. Bitcher asks Ayan about her name and told her that he doesn't intend to call her master, which is why he is asking for her name. That made Ayan startled and told Bitcher that a mere slave doesn't have a right to ask the question, but she still answers and introduces herself as Ayan while blushing. Bitcher also introduced himself and asks Ayan what is her first order. Ayan told him that his first mission is to build a house that he will be living on. Ayan wants to teach Bitcher a lesson since her slave acts arrogantly. She thinks that there is no way an imperial bastard knows how to build a house. She wants to establish a hierarchy between them. But with only a few hours, the house, she asks, is already finished. He told Ayan, "I already carried out your order." Ayan starts to question his mind on why is Bitcher so good at creating a house, because she thought that he would struggle because of his injured body. Ayan just hides the materials that she brought over, because if it is like that, there is no use for the items that she brought for Bitcher. In his past life, during the time of destruction, swordsmen are only good at wielding swords, which were why they couldn't survive. So in order to survive in extreme situations, one would need to learn a variety of skills. Bitcher told Ayan that the matriarch's house is also unstable. In that current state, during rainy seasons, the ground around might shake, which might cause the water to leak. That is why Bitcher suggested mixing lime dirt and gravel to create a brick and reinforce the soil. Ayan could only agree to the suggestion of Bitcher, and she also pretended that she already plans about it in the beginning. Then Bitcher starts his plan. He gathers lime and dirt and made them into bricks. He uses the fire so that the mixture can dry up at a faster rate. Ayan explains to her mother the plan of Bitcher, and after that, they put bricks on the pillar. The matriarch said to them that she was frustrated because no matter how many times she fixed it, still, the water would leak through. The matriarch praised Bitcher and told him that her daughter picked up quite a useful mail. He ordered Bitcher to go to other barracks and fix this tedious matter. Ayan asks Bitcher if he is too tired to become a slave. She suggested that Bitcher became an official member of their tribe, but Bitcher doesn't mind any of it because that is more peaceful than being part of the Baskerville or living in the underdog city. Ayan told Bitcher that if he does a good job, he will cut off the rope on the neck of Bitcher. Bitcher replied, "That was quite appealing. So what do I need to do?" Ayan told him that he needs to go on a hunt and catch a huge prey. Recently, the tribe warriors haven't been able to catch large prey, so the children haven't been able to eat meat for a while. In other words, if he captures a huge prey, he will become a commoner from just a slave. Ayan told him that he should be thankful since his master is the Baroque tribe hunting commander, and she also added that they will leave tomorrow. On the other side, Ahun was just watching the two, but he is so annoyed seeing Bitcher and Ayan become closer. He even calls Bitcher a disgusting bastard. The next morning, the Baroque tribe shaman named Ahuman gathers around the hunter for the ritual ceremony of their tribe. The shaman said that the warriors must accept his blessing or they will have a tough time. Ayan told Bitcher that the warriors of the tribe feel guilty when they kill their prey. That is why they put charcoal on their faces to hide themselves from the god of death. Bitcher now knows that even a small tribe has its own shaman. The warriors are questioning the credibility of the shaman, since the shaman's blessing fails a lot, and he always nagging. For Bitcher, who is listening, he understands that the shaman is just a useless position, which is not different from other places. The shaman only put charcoal on Ayan's face to make fun of her. Bitcher told her that it was a good sight to see her face. Ayan told Bitcher to shut up since she and the shaman don't get along well. Ayan give Bitcher a collar to protect himself and Bitcher just put it on since he wants to adapt to the tribe. Ayan told Bitcher to hold her waist so he won't fall when the wolf runs, but Bitcher insists that he will be fine. Then, only a few moments when the wolf runs, Bitcher falls on it. Ayan laughs at her and told him that he should grab her waist instead. She added that Bitcher will keep falling if he keeps that up. Bitcher could only question his mind if he can still get up seeing his body state. Then Ahun came in and told Ayan that he seems to be playing around with her new slave. He also called out why a slave was given a collar. He also added that he will win in the next hunt and catch bigger prey. He said he is going to become the next captain of the hunting group, and he puts his grandfather on the line. Ayan asks him why was he putting his grandfather's honor on the line when he was just a shaman. Then he suddenly looks at Bitcher and kicks him, which even made Ayan shock. Ayan shouted, "You bastard! What do you think you are doing?" Ahun replied, "How are you going to use this injured male as your hunting assistant? Get a hold of yourself, commander. He will only be a burden." Ayan said to him, "I wonder, you should look at your waistband before saying anything." Looking at his waist, Ahun could only be shocked that his quiver has been missing. Bitcher told him while smiling, "You should grab and hold of your weapons as you would with your lover. They were taken away without you even knowing." Ayan just laughs at him. Because of the embarrassment, Ahun shouted, "This arrogant slave bastard," and he jumps to punch Bitcher, but he was stopped by Ayan. Ahun shouted and asks why she is protecting the slave, and he also insulted a Baroque warrior. He added, "Don't tell me you have come to like the slave." Seeing the protest of Ahun, Ayan told him, "Fine, a slave is a slave. If he did something wrong, he should be punished." Ayan told Ahun, "But you don't have the right to punish my slave." Then Ayan punches Bitcher so hard in the face. Bitcher was totally unconscious from the strong punch. Seeing that blood on Ayan's hand, a full-blown punch can fully make someone knock out. Ayan told him, "Are you happy now? I know you were upset because you weren't able to catch previously a maiden for yourself. But if you do that shit again to my slave, I will beat you up." Then Ayan shows up her bloodlust that is so intense. He asks Ahun if he got what she is saying. Ahun could only agree, but Bitcher was lying down from being knocked out. Ayan felt guilty after that strong punch. She asks Bitcher if he is hurt or if he is angry. Bitcher stays silent during the whole trip. Ayan told him it had to be done. Ahun is a pretty stubborn guy. That was the only way to stop his petty retaliations. She asked, "Why aren't you replying?" Bitcher answered, "'Cause it hurts." Hearing that made Ayan's eyes widen. Like a gymnast, she suddenly turns 180 degrees to look at Bitcher. She put his face near Bitcher like a concerned girlfriend. She asks, "Does it hurt a lot? Is it bad?" Is your life in danger? Bitcher just said that it hurts to talk. She then told Bitcher that she got injuries like that more often. And then she licks Bitcher's face. She was blushing while remembering how she licked the lips of Bitcher. Ian told him, I knew I was right. From all of the Imperial bastards, you are the most promising. But Bitcher is a Chad, he doesn't care about the kiss. He only thinks that licking an injury like that is dangerous as it might spread the infection and bacteria on the wound. Ian asks him, do you have something you want from me? Even if it is one thing, tell me. If it is something I can do, I will do anything. Bitcher wants to make sure, so he asks again, can I ask for anything? Hearing that made Ian shiver. Maybe she must be thinking about other things. Ian said that a Baroque warrior doesn't go back on their words. Ian was in panic mode in her mind. Why was he thinking so hard? Don't tell me. No way. She was blushing. She is really thinking something. But Bitcher is a man of focus and priority, so he asks Ian to teach him how to shoot using bow. The hopes of Ian goes down. Hearing that, Ian's face was disappointed. But still, she told Bitcher that from now onwards they will be doing some special training. The next day, the training starts. Bitcher asks her, is this really the right way of teaching me? Ian replied, aren't you the one who asked me to teach you? All of the young warriors learn like this. She is really taking advantage of him. Ian told him that he won't be able to use his sword with his broken body, so he needs to learn the bow well in order for him to catch big and stop being a slave. But the joint in the body of Bitcher is on its limit. Then Bakira, the wolf of Ian, suddenly pops up. Hearing that made Ian bend the hips of Bitcher more, which made a great crack. Because of pain, Bitcher could only hold his back. Ian asks his pet if he already found what she is asking for. Then the Bakira howls, which means he already found it. She told Bitcher while smiling to stand up because they need to move fast now. Ian told Bitcher that the area is where the ocean meets the sea, which is why there are creatures that can be found in the ocean and river that live in that area. Her grandma told her that if the salmon succeed in jumping up over the waterfall, they will evolve into a huge beasts. But most of the salmon failed to climb up the waterfall and fall to the bottom, getting impaled and dying from the sharp rocks. Those that fall become the food of oxbear. Bitcher asks Ian if that is an oxbear that they are seeing, because it was an entirely different beast from the ones he has seen. Ian told Bitcher that is not an ordinary oxbear. It is being born of a superior bloodline that has survived countless battles. Bitcher asks Ian, are you asking me to kill that? Ian replied, no way. I did not ask Bakira to find a strong female for the hunt. Ian told him that the prey are the males that going to court the female oxbear. Bitcher just watched from the side, but he was shocked when he saw that the female oxbear attacks all the males courting her. Damn, what a picky oxbear. Bitcher told Ian, the female keeps rejecting their mating call. Just how strong of a male he is looking for. Ian told him that he is going on the wrong way, and what the female wants is actually the opposite. Ian told him that the female oxbear isn't looking for a strong male. Seeing that Bitcher asks, she chooses the weakest one. Ian told him that what the female oxbear want is a mate that she could control. There are cases where the strong males get excited that they may try to kill their mating partner, so they are not popular in the oxbear world. Thus, the female desires the small and weak mates. Ian told Bitcher that the way the Baroque tribe chooses mates is the same as the oxbears. She asks, do you know which type is the most popular? A male who has incredible seed, but is young, and even better if he is weakened by injury. Hearing those descriptions that refer to himself, Bitcher just stays silent. Now, he can conclude that Ian only wants his seed, and that's all. But for me, think she wants Bitcher's D, but never mind. Ian told Bitcher what we have to do is to wait. Then the female will drain the male's strength for us. Bitcher could only think if what he is doing is making sense, hearing that two oxbears are groaning from making love with one another. Bitcher was listening to the oxbear moaning for 3 days already. He doesn't know what he is doing anymore. For 3 days, they are supplying them with food so that they can continue to mate without getting hungry. Damn, what a stamina of an oxbear. Ian explained to Bitcher that the berry increases the strength for a short period of time, but it will take your life force in the end, so it was definitely bad for the body. The intelligent female should know their intentions. The male also knows, but he has no choice but to eat it to satisfy the female's hunger during mating. Bitcher stay silent now that he knows the reason why Ayan choose the big and strong female as her trailing target. She wanted to hunt a male that is fully drained. Ayan offers food on Bitcher. She told him that he needs to eat a lot since it will help in his recovery. Ayan said, more than that, the two ox bears are really going at its full force. Isn't that normal? Hearing that made Bitcher throws his food because he knows that is also his destiny. While blushing and holding her laugh, Ayan told him, the men of Baroques all do that much, though maybe that is not the case for the Empire boys. Well, for a nation of D-weebs, I guess that makes sense. With a seducing post, he asks Bitcher, can you do it like that? Can you? Dame, she really wants his D. Then they heard a strong growl from the bear. Ayan told Bitcher to get ready. It seems the female succeeded in her conception. For 3 days straight of mating, the male ox bear was totally knocked out and drained. The female growl so strong means that is the end of the mating process. Bitcher asked, why did she chase the male away? Ayan told him that after mating the male is just another competitor for food within the territory. She is warning him to not come back again. Poor man. After she gets what she wants, she was chasing him away. Bitcher told Ayan, since the ox bear has been doing his best for 3 days without sleeping, he was sure that he will lay down. Ayan told Bitcher, the ox bear will find a safe place for him to sleep. We will follow his trail now. The moment he starts sleeping, that is when our hunt will begin. Because of the condition of the body of Bitcher from his last battle with Madame Eight Legs, he could only feel cold as they follow the trail in the icy mountain. Ayan asks him if he is cold, and she said to Bitcher that he needs to go closer to him. She told Bitcher that his body will slow down when gets cold, and when he freezes up, he will only become a hindrance on the hunt. Hearing that, Bitcher thinks about it, but it was logical enough, and Ayan has a reasonable point. Bitcher said fine, and then he hugs Ayan. Ayan was blushing from the back hug of her lover boy. To reduce the awkwardness, she thinks that she is doing what is good for the health of her slave, and that is the master's duty to take care of her slave. While following the trail, Bakira noticed something strange that made him growl. They noticed that the ox bear trail disappeared. Ayan starting to question just where did the ox bear go, but it was just waiting for an opportunity. The hunt became the opposite. The one who plans to ambush is now getting ambushed. On the other hand, a Hun, together with his team, catches a very large boar. Everyone in the tribe was so happy seeing that. A Hun was so proud that he can provide meat that can make the whole village full. The other tribe members think that a Hun will become the next hunting leader of the tribe. Because no matter how good their hunting leader Ayan is, there is still a limit on how can she catch prey alone. Going back to the climax, Ayan was being ambushed by the bear. The ox bear was approaching her at a faster rate. When the ox bear tries to slash her with his large claws, Bitcher grabs her in the waist and pulls her over. Ayan could only be shocked that it was a near-death experience. Only a few more inches, and her head will be swiped down. Because of the pull of Bitcher, both of them fall down on Bakira, which is why Bakira jumps up to attack the male ox bear to protect his owner. The bottom claw of Bitcher was the one who was able to stab Ayan. Jokes aside, Bitcher asks Ayan if she is okay. Then Ayan thanks him for saving her. Now, they realize why the female chooses this one as his mate, because of how intelligent he is. Bitcher said that they wouldn't be able to avoid direct confrontation, but Ayan was embarrassed seeing that her slave was the one who saved her life. Ayan told Bitcher to stay at the back and let her be the one to attack, as she wants to show her strength as his master. Ayan rides on Bakira and Bakira dashes on the upper place to get a fitting position for a perfect aim of Ayan. The arrows of Ayan hit the running ox bear. The ox bear runs and hides on the large chunk of ice, but Ayan was so angry, she shouted, "For the sin of making me disgraceful in front of my slave, take this arrow. Do you think you can hide behind the obstacle? My arrow can even pierce steel if I wish, but if I don't it won't even hurt a leaf." She releases her arrow. It hit on the obstacle and then bounced back. but the embedded aura was able to pierce through the ice chunk and hit the bear, making it cough a lot of blood. That scene could only make Bitcher in awe, seeing that it pierces the bear even though he takes cover. The aura held in the arrow perfectly passed through the obstacle wave and pierced only the target. That skill in archery could be mythical. Seeing that skill, Bitcher wants to say that considering the talent of Ayan, she has the potential that is beyond Camus more. Bloods are gushing out of the mouth of the oxbear as he draws his last breath. He runs and go wild running to Ayan. The bear just keeps running, and Ayan just keeps him shooting an arrow. Ayan said, "A serious arrow from me can even break walls." Then she shots her strongest arrow on the approaching bear. Seeing that the arrow is approaching, the life of the bear flashes before his eyes, and his animal instinct was awakened, which made him to be able to avoid the strongest arrow of Ayan. Ayan cannot believe that the bear was able to evade that. The bear then grabs that opportunity to use his claw and attack Bachira, which made Ayan falls down. Ayan rolls down and stumbles on the ground, losing her strength. That is when she remembers what her mother said, that a beast's senses will heighten near death, and can even detect the killing intent of a human. Ayan could only regret that she let her guard down. The male oxbear was so angry from the constant pain he receives from those arrows. Looking at Ayan, he really wants to bite and chunk Ayan up. Ayan could only wait for her death, since she already accepted her fate the moment she let her guard down. That is when Bitcher asks her, "Are you done showing the master strength? Then it is my turn." He jumps into the bear, crashing his hand into the oxbear's mouth. His hands turn into a sword using the Beelzebub skill, and it was aimed on the bear, who was also trying to attack. He called that skill Cerberus Incinerate, killing the bear in an instant with a flame that was released in the attack. The bear died and turns into a roasted oxbear from that strong attack of Bitcher. The fire from that attack made Bitcher's bondage fall, exposing his body, which made Ayan flustered. But using that skill at his state is really too much for him, and then he passed out after that from the backlash. The day after that, a feast was held celebrating a successful hunting ceremony in the Baroque tribe. Ayan told Bitcher that the hunter who has caught the biggest prey will receive respect, admiration, and gratitude from the entire village. She asks, "How does it feel to become a hero?" Bitcher replied, "Well, I don't care that much." Ayan told him that oxbears aren't just strong and savage, they are very smart as well. That is why it is a very honorable hunting target. That is the reason we are selected as the heroes of the hunt. It is different from dumb and fearful boars who only run. A Hun was jealous of the achievement of Bitcher, and he was also ordered to deliver the part of Bitcher in the hunt. Bitcher asks, "What is this? Why is my portion so small?" A Hun replied, "That is because your honor is high. I also want to have a small share like you." Ayan explained that in the Baroque tradition, the one who contributes the most will receive the smallest meat, but the highest honor in return. Bitcher was thinking that a chunk of meat is better than a useless thing like honor. Ayan just laughs at a Hun while saying that it serves him right. But the reward that Bitcher got is not the meat, but the weight amplification that was inscribed in Beelzebub. After killing the oxbear, while holding his breath, he can now increase his weight into 600 kilograms. His body also recover a bit. While blushing, Ayan give Bitcher something to eat. Since he only received a small portion, she said that she stole it from the shaman by using his authority as a hunter. But seeing that it was censored, and was long and soft, like it was used for a long time, it must be the genitals of the oxbear that was drained by the female for 3 days. Ayan said that if your eyes are bad, you eat the prey's eyes. If your heart is bad, you eat the prey's heart. If your arms and legs are hurt, you need to eat the legs quickly. But Bitcher was asking in his mind why it was pretty long. He is starting to question if that is an intestine. Then the girls of the tribe shouted at Ayan. They told her that she only cared about Bitcher's thing, and seeing that she gave her that to a slave, it is so obvious on what she thinking. Bitcher ate that long thing, but when he ate it, he is starting to question why is it so tough. Ayan was waiting until he fully swallowed that food. Seeing that Bitcher fully swallowed the food, she said, "Now, you will be able to do your job. Bitcher was so confused because he thinks he had already done his duties during the hunt. She is confused about what more does she want. Bro is denser than brick. It is obvious that she also wants to drain your D. After the feast, Bitcher asks why they put a lot of food in that place, even though they have a shortage in food. Ian said that it was an offering to Madame Eight Legs, because they were receiving permission to live in the dense forest. Madame Eight Legs was the terror of the forest, where you won't survive an encounter with her. Seeing the attitude of the Baroque tribe, Bitcher realizes how reckless his attitude was back then. The next morning, Bitcher was so confused that a lot of girls are forming a line waiting for something. He thinks that there must be a ritual. Bro is really dense. They all want to her D and seed. One of the girls said that she lined up before the sun rose. The other was happy that she was in the front line. Another girl didn't sleep at all just to line up first. The other girls think that Bitcher will be relieved from his slave status seeing the result of yesterday's hunt. They are happy that he was strong and was able to bring back the ox bear, and they assume that he will choose a wife for one of them. That is when Ian suddenly came in angrily. She told them, I give him that long and big D of ox bear stew yesterday. How dare you try and snatch what is mine in the end? The other girls protested and they said, then use his D first and hand him over. Keeping them to yourself is cheating, leader. If you feel it is unfair, you can go and catch something again. Others were insisting, because even if they go to the boundary of the empire, no man is like Bitcher, who is young and strong. Ian released her bloodlust and told them that there might be someone in hell. The other girls got scared and ran away. Ian said, it looks like there may be some snakes who will try to take him away while I am waiting for him to heal. Since I fed him the ox bear's D, I need him to do his job as a man. Hearing that, Bitcher was emotionless. Ian could only panic, asking Bitcher if he hears everything. Bitcher's world turns into darkness knowing what he has eaten is the D of the ox bear who was as tough as hell when he chews. Ian hurriedly changed the subject and told Bitcher that there was a meeting last night and Bitcher can request one thing from her mother as an honorable hunter. Ian was blushing and told Bitcher that she already thought of the request he can make to the matriarch. The meeting with the matriarch started, and the warriors and the elders are the audience of the meeting. Bitcher bows down and greets the leader of the tribe. The leader told Bitcher that she had heard that Bitcher caught the ox bear and thanked him that they were able to eat delicious meat. Bitcher told the matriarch that he only does what he was asked for. Fox of the Night, Aquila, the genius archer who made the empire fear the Baroque tribe, which only has 300 members. For Bitcher, her presence is like Hugo, but warm and soft. The matriarch told Bitcher that she will give her a reward in the hunt and his status as a slave is released. He is no longer a slave, but part of the family of the Baroque. Before that, Ian told Bitcher that the elder was dissatisfied with the idea of freeing him, and the one who is on the opposing was the shaman, who was also the grandfather of a Hun. The matriarch told Bitcher, since you are now officially a part of the tribe, state me what you want. I will grant a suitable request from you. If you wish for a beautiful maiden of the village, I will pick out a wife for you. If you don't need a wife, I can give you a slave as well. On the other hand, Ian was using a hand signal, signaling to her mother. You didn't forget what I said, right? Bitcher, look at Ian. But he just avoided her distractions. He said to the matriarch, there is one thing I want to request. Seeing her daughter's reaction, her mother thinks Ian this brat. She is signaling with all her might right now. That's how much she wants this kid. But Bitcher is a Chad and a man of priority, so he requested to soak his body in the hero's spring. The result is that Ian failed to take his seed at all. That is the end of the story.